Hi there everyone. In today's video I'm going to show you how to increase and decrease in your crochet work. There are a few ways to do it and I'm just going to show you a couple of ways and that should get you on your way. So let's get started.
Okay, this is the work that I've been working on to show you how to increase. When you're increasing in the middle of your work, you're going to do 2 stitches in 1 stitch, and I've just placed a marker over here so I know where my 2 stitches are in one place. Now depending on what you want to do will depend on whether you're going to increase in one place or whether you're going to increase scattered. I want to show you what it looks like when you increase in one spot, and I've just done single crochet, and you can see there I've done 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to get to that spot and I'm going to do 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and that gives me an increase, and then I'm going to just keep on going all the way down. Now you've just made an increase. Now when you do it this way, you'll see it gives you a bit of a point. I haven't done it in the center, but you've got your point. So you're going, if you do it in the same place, you're going to get kind of a pattern. So that just gives you a point over there. When you're making hats, it's actually quite nice to do it in the same spot every time because you get a bit of a pattern. So that's the one way to do it. If you don't want to have it like this, you're going to have to scatter your increase. So one time you would do it, say, right over here. Another time you can increase it there or somewhere else, depending on how many stitches you're increasing in a row. But if you're just doing one, I wouldn't, and you don't want to have this ridge, I would just increase it in different places. I'll show you how I've done it on this one head wrap. Well, this is the head wrap that I made, and I did not increase it, so you can see I don't have a point anywhere. I increased 2 in each row, and I've done the increase over here, and then I did one over there. Then I did one over here and over there, so they weren't in the same spot, and you just get your increase, which is very natural, and you don't see any specific place that it's been increased. The other way to increase is that you can do it at the beginning of a row and at the end of a row. Now when you do it that way, you might see a little bit, it's not going to be quite as natural as when you do it in between your stitches. So let me just show you how. I'm just doing single crochet. So you would do it in your last stitch, you would just increase, that's your normal stitch that you would do, and then you would just add another one. And that's at the end of your row, and you would do the same thing in the beginning of your row. You would just do your normal 1 stitch here, and then you would add on another one. So that's another way that you can increase. That way is also fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So those are the 2 ways that you're going to increase, one in your stitch and one on the side. Now if you're wanting to increase a multiple of stitches, for example by your armholes, what you would do is you're going to increase 5 over here and 5 on the other side. So you can increase, you can chain 5 stitches on a separate piece of thread, increase 5, and then join it onto the beginning of this row, and you can just bring it through like that, and then you can sew your other edges, your stitches on, and then just keep going, single crochet all the way across. And then when you're coming back the side, you just tighten that a bit. When you're coming back the side, you would just keep going across this row, and you've increased 5 there. You would do the same thing on this side, but with your same wall. So when you come to the end of this row, you're going to increase 5 here, so you're going to just chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you've got your 5 this side and your 5 on the other side. Then you turn around and you just continue. You go into your first stitch. Actually, it's probably best just to do one more, so you don't have to try and go into the very first one, and then you're going to go into your very first one. I'm not the first one, the second one, and then you'll have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you just keep on with the rest of your stitches. So now you've increased 5 on this side and you increased 5 on the other side. So that's one way to do it. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to decrease. Now if you're decreasing at the beginning of a row, this isn't too hard, because one method that you could use is, instead of going into your very first stitch, you could skip that one and just go into your next one, and you've made one decrease over there, and then just continue. And then you would do the same thing at the end of your row. You would skip one stitch, not the end one, skip the one just before. So I'd skip this one, and then I would single crochet in this one. So you're going to single crochet, skip this one, and then go into that one. That is a simple method that you can use, especially in single crochet. It's not too bad. You can just skip one and go in, but I will show you how to do it if you don't want to do that. Okay, now you want to decrease. This is a different way to decrease. You'd have to work it out for yourself and see when you're skipping a stitch, if it works out alright, or if it's leaving too much of a gap. Then you probably don't want to just skip a stitch. I don't really skip a stitch, but if it's working in the fabric, in the piece that you're making, then it's okay. But now in single crochet, if I'm going to decrease one stitch, you're going to go into the stitch and bring your yarn through. Now if you were finishing your single crochet, you would go through these two, but you're not. You want to decrease one, so you're going to go into the next stitch, bring it through, and then you're going to go through all 3 stitches. And now I've made one single crochet out of 2. So let me show you again. You'd go into the first one, bring it through, go into the next one, bring your yarn through, and go through all 3 stitches. And then you've made one and you've decreased. Like I've stretched that one out a bit, so just be careful of that. So in there, through one, through there, and then through all 3. And just be careful with this stitch. It does seem to stretch out a little bit, but when you're working on top of here, this stitch, you're not going to see it. So okay, that's how you're going to decrease in double crochet. So this is slightly different. So you're going to bring your yarn over in to the first chain and bring it through the 2 loops. Then you're going to yarn over in the next chain through 2 loops, and then through all 3. And then you've done 1 double crochet out of the 2, and you've just made the 1, so you've decreased. So let me show you again. Yarn over into your stitch, through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, through 2 loops, and then through all 3. And now you've decreased, and you can see it's brought your work in. So that's how you do it in your double crochet. Let me show you with half a double crochet. Alright, now this is to do your half a double crochet. You're going to do yarn over through the 1. You don't bring it through any of the loops. Yarn over through the next stitch, through there, and you should have 5 loops on your hook, and you're going to go through all 5 of them. So for half a double crochet, yarn over in the 1 stitch, bring it through, yarn over in the next stitch, bring it through, and you should have 5 loops on your hook, and you're going to go through all 5 of them. And that's how you do your half a double. So I've shown you the single crochet, the double crochet, and the half a double. Right, now I'm going to show you how to decrease when you're working with a treble stitch. So you're going to bring your yarn over twice, go into your 1 stitch, bring it through 2 loops and 2 loops, and then you're going to bring your yarn over twice again, go into the next stitch. You're going to go through 2 loops, through 2 loops, and then you're going to go through all 3. And then you've just decreased in your treble. So let me show you again. Yarn over twice, go through your 1 stitch, through 2 loops, through 2 loops, yarn over twice into the following stitch, go through 2 loops, and then you're going to go through all 3 loops, and there you've just decreased in your treble. Alright, now say you want to decrease 5 stitches in the beginning of your row and 5 stitches at the end of your row. All that you're going to do is slip stitch those stitches. So I'm going to decrease 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5. You've just completed decreasing 5 stitches. You just simply slip stitch them. Now if you're working in single crochet, you would just continue in your next stitch, single crochet, and you would go all the way to the end of your row. Now we're at the end of our row, and we want to decrease these 5 stitches. So all that you do is totally ignore them, and you're going to just turn around and complete your next row. Single crochet, single crochet, and you'll go all the way to the end, and you've decreased your 5 stitches at the beginning and 5 stitches at the end. Alright, we're going to do the same thing, but I want to show you how to do this in double crochet. So I'm going to decrease the first 5 stitches. So I just slip stitch the first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you've decreased your first 5. Now we'll do a video where I show you about your turning chain and how many chains stand for each stitch. So for double crochet, 3 chains represent the double crochet stitch. That's the height of it. Half a double crochet you would use 2 chain, but because we're going to do this in double crochet, for your first stitch you're going to do 3 chain, and then you're going to do a double crochet, and you'll see they're the same height. So your 3 chain is the same height as this one, and then you would just keep on double crocheting. Completed your double crochet, and you've come to the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we want to decrease 5. So double crochet in the last stitch, and you would just leave these stitches. That would be your decrease. You would, because you're working in double crochet, you'd have to chain your 3, which stands as your turning chain, and then you would turn around and continue on the next row. And that's how you decrease. Well, I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye.